Most people know exactly what they spent on rent last month. They couldn't tell you what they spent on convenience fees, rounding charges, and auto-renewed subscriptions they forgot about. That gap is where the money actually goes. Not in big purchases, not in emergencies. In 100 small decisions that felt too small to question. You check your bank balance and think you're doing fine. Then the account is somehow thinner than it should be, and you can't quite explain it. That's not bad luck. That's a leak pattern. And most people have at least a dozen running at once, quietly, every single month. The first one is the subscription you signed up for during a free trial. It converted to paid, you never noticed. It's been billing you for 11 months. Could be a fitness app, a cloud storage tier, a news site, a streaming add-on. Not the main ones. Those you'd catch. The secondary ones, the $5 ones. At $5 a month, that's $60 a year for something you haven't opened since spring. Multiply that by 3 or 4 forgotten subscriptions, and you're looking at real money. The second leak is convenience markup on everyday purchases. Not a splurge, not a treat, just the habit of paying slightly more for the easier version. The pre-cut fruit costs about twice what the whole fruit costs. That math happens daily. Delivery app fees, service charges, small order fees, these don't feel like spending. They feel like logistics, but they're a permanent percentage on top of everything you buy through those apps. Third is the minimum payment trap on a revolving balance. You pay the minimum, the statement resets, it feels like the debt is being handled. It isn't. The balance barely moves. The interest keeps accruing. A $400 balance at 20% APR, paying only the minimum, can take over 2 years to clear. You'll pay close to double what you actually spent on something you might not even own anymore. Fourth is ATM fees. Not dramatic, but consistent. $3 here, $3.50 there. Some out-of-network machines charge $5. If that happens even twice a week, that's over $300 a year in fees to access your own money. Fifth is the bank account maintenance fee you're paying because you fell below the minimum balance. It triggers every month. It's on the statement. Most people scroll past it. Sixth is buying duplicates of things you already own because you can't find the original. A charger, a pair of scissors, a measuring tape, a spice you swore you had. This is a real pattern. It's not about being careless. It's about a disorganized system creating a recurring small cost. Seventh is the gym membership that's been running since January. Most gym contracts are designed to outlast motivation. That's not cynical, that's just business. If you haven't gone in 6 weeks, you're not paying for fitness. You're paying for the option of fitness. Eighth is buying food you don't finish. The average household throws away a meaningful percentage of the groceries it buys. That's not waste at the end, that's waste at the checkout. You paid for food you were never going to eat. Ninth is phone plan features you're not using. A lot of people are on a plan 2 tiers above what they actually need. International calling they don't use, data they don't use, a family line that could be dropped. The bill renews automatically, so it never gets questioned the way a one-time purchase would. 10th is insurance coverage you've never audited. Not saying drop your coverage. Coverage matters. But a lot of people are overinsured in areas that don't apply to their actual life. Same provider for years, rates crept up, no one compared, no one asked. The policy that made sense 3 years ago might not fit what you own or where you live now. 11th is paying late fees on bills you had the money to pay. Not financial stress, just timing. The bill was due on the 3rd, you got paid on the 5th. A late fee of $20 to $40, 2 or 3 times a year, is a quiet but completely avoidable drain. Setting up a 2-day early reminder costs nothing. The fee costs real money. 12th is the interest on buy now, pay later balances that ran past the promotional period. A lot of these products offer 0 interest for 6 months. After month 6, the deferred interest kicks in. Sometimes retroactively on the original full amount. The purchase felt manageable. The back-end math did not. 13th is tipping on digital checkouts, where tipping doesn't quite make sense. The tablet flips toward you. 3 preset percentages appear. Someone is watching. 20% on a $4 coffee you picked up yourself is just a design choice working as intended. Not every transaction needs a tip. You're allowed to press the custom amount button. 14th is the extended warranty on small electronics. The item costs $40. The warranty costs $12. The item will probably outlast the warranty period anyway, and if it doesn't, you'll likely buy a newer version rather than repair the old one. Extended warranties on small, cheap, fast obsolete items are mostly margin for the seller. 15th is rounding up and cashback schemes that shift your spending upward. Round up to donate, round up to save, spend this much more to unlock free shipping. Each one is a small engineered nudge. Individually, nothing. Cumulatively, they add up across the month. 16th is paying for parking when free parking was 1 block further, or taking a rideshare for a 12-minute walk because the weather wasn't ideal. These feel like comfort decisions, not financial ones. That's exactly how small leaks stay invisible. 17th is the price difference between buying in a rush and buying with a day's patience. Same item, same platform. Bought in a moment of urgency versus bought after a brief wait. Flash sales, coupon codes, cart abandonment discounts. These exist because the platform knows timing changes price. Impatience has a dollar value and it comes out of your account consistently. 18th is unused gift cards, store credits, and cashback rewards, sitting unclaimed. But if you have $40 in app credit and you're still paying cash, you're spending twice in effect. These balances expire. The platforms are not reminding you. That's not an accident. 19th is the auto-renewal on software you switched away from months ago. You moved to a different tool, forgot to cancel the old one, and it just billed you for another year. Annual subscriptions are the hardest to catch because you only see them once every 12 months. By the time the charge appears, you've mentally moved on from that account completely. 20th is something less tangible but just as real. Buying things to feel financially stable. A new planner to get organized. A budgeting app you'll stop using by week 3. A book about money habits that sits unread next to 2 other books about money habits. Spending on the tools of financial discipline instead of practicing financial discipline is its own quiet leak. Now here's what connects all 20. None of them feel significant in the moment. That's the whole mechanism. A $3 fee doesn't interrupt your day. A forgotten $5 subscription doesn't spike your anxiety. But if you had 15 to 20 of these running simultaneously, you're looking at somewhere between $150 and $400 a month. That's the range for a lot of households, not because they're irresponsible, but because small leaks don't trigger the same attention that big ones do. The practical reset isn't complicated. It doesn't require a spreadsheet system or a new app. Pull your last 2 bank statements. Go line by line, not category by category. You're not looking for big problems. You're looking for recurring small ones. Anything that auto-renews, anything with a fee attached, anything you don't recognize. Flag it. Then ask one question about each flagged item. Am I actively using this, or am I just paying for it to exist? Most people find 3 to 6 things they can cancel or reduce in the first pass. That alone, compounded over 12 months, is often more than what any single budget cut could save. The bigger point is this. Financial pressure rarely comes only from one large source. It usually comes from a dozen small sources that never got examined because none of them felt worth the effort. The leak you ignore because it's small is still a leak. It still drains the same account. So the real question worth sitting with is this. If you actually reviewed every recurring charge you're paying right now, how many of them would you consciously choose to keep?